vote and go and put an X on the ballot. Today we for the elections with 4 different particular panelists this particular evening. I'm going to start with introducing Isaiah Mambwe, coming from ZANASU. He is the Secretary General. Good evening.
Good evening, thank you. And good evening to the viewers.
All right. Our second guest is KONDWELANI SAKALA, the UPPZ Secretary General. Good evening.
Good evening, Chisha. Good evening to all the lovely viewers of Muvi TV.
All right. We also do have someone who is very familiar to the screens, but surprisingly, today he's come through another different political party. This is Mr. Lazarous SIMUKOKO, who is representing the PF Media team. He is a member. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chisha, and good evening to our viewers.
All right. We also do have CLEMENT KANGWA coming from FDD, the National Youth Chairperson, of course, supporting the candidature of ECL. Good evening.
Good evening, Comrade Chisha, and good evening to our lovely viewers, and good evening, Zambia.
All right. My panelists, we have 2 basic rules on Blunt Talk, the fearless debate. We all have 3 minutes each to answer the questions that I have for you. And if you have any counter reaction towards your opponent or towards your panelist, I think that is a much better word to use. Towards your panelist, you're allocated 3 minutes to answer them or to give them a question, and not in their 3 minutes. I hope that is very clear.
Noted.
All right, great. Let's begin quickly because time is running out. I'll begin with you, Mr. Lazarous SIMUKOKO, coming from the PF Media team. All right, do you do political parties have strong ideologies and campaign messages ahead of the August polls? Your 3 minutes starts now.
Absolutely, Mr. Chisha. Talking of the Patriotic Front, this is the political party that has always been standing up for the people of Zambia. Today, as I'm speaking to you, Mr. Chisha, we understand the challenges which Zambia has been facing. However, the Patriotic Front has made sure that we start keeping these issues one by one and following each of those problems. To start with, it is the same government which has faced quite a lot of challenges in regard to the drought that was faced. Apart from that, COVID-19 that was experienced. Of course, we understand that the standard living of the people of Zambia is high, but it's not only in Zambia. It's across all the globe or across the countries in Africa. However, despite of such challenges that have been experienced, Mr. Chisha, allow me to say to you in Zambia currently, we are buying the cheapest fuel in the SADC region. We are buying the cheapest cooking oil in the SADC region.
Ideologies, Mr. SIMUKOKO.
Yes, that's where I'm going. I'm trying to draw an analogy, and then I'm going to reach at that moment, Mr. Chisha. So I'm trying to explain to you what the Patriotic Front has been doing or has done, and then we see what is next to follow from 2021 to 2026, Mr. Chisha. So looking at the ideologies of the Patriotic Front, we have seen the government having the representative of women, and that is the main thing that the Patriotic Front stands for, the representation of women. Through the appointment of the Vice President, we had Madam Inongewina, now we are having Professor Nkandruo. Apart from that, we have seen also people or these women being appointed in strategic positions, such as in the judiciary, including those people that are now leading in all these positions that have been mentioned, because I cannot mention all because there are quite a lot. Apart from that, Mr. Chisha, the Patriotic Front has done infrastructure development across the country.
You have 1 minute 8 seconds. Ideologies, yes. Mr. SIMUKOKO.
Ideologies, yes. That is what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at, the ideas that we are having as a political party, Mr. Chisha, is that the Patriotic Front at the moment is now looking forward to bring in industries in Zambia. Since we have the infrastructures, we have got hospitals, we have got schools, we have got a productive nation which has managed to attain these qualifications. We expect now the people who are unemployed at the moment to begin working immediately. We are voted in again. Come this
Do you
August.
think your political party has strong ideologies?
Very much, and that is why we have got this manifesto, which is running from 2021 to 2026.
Mr. SIMUKOKO, you have 23 seconds.
Yes.
A few months ago, I hosted you on different programs.
Yes.
You called the PF, team to be pathetic. What has changed now?
I'm a leader who wants to stand for solutions, Mr. Chisha. I don't want to be able to be condemning every time. Just that few seconds are remaining for me to explain this. We have got two scenarios. We have got that person.
I'll add 30 more seconds.
Okay, we have got, thank you very much. We have got that person who is owning a vehicle and that person who admires to own a vehicle. Now, these are two different people. A person who owns a vehicle will always be knowing the challenges that are faced with that vehicle. While a person who doesn't own a vehicle, that person will only be able to say...
Thank you so much, Mr. SIMUKOKO. Your time is up.
Okay, I think I'll come and explain it when immediately it comes back to me.
All right, KONDWELANI SAKALA, UPPZ Secretary General, how is your assessment with the political parties' ideologies and campaign messages ahead of the elections?
United, prosperous and peaceful Zambia has got an agenda for this country. From the time that this political party was formed, we saw the problem Zambia has been passing through. And it is for this reason we said Zambia has been divided. And this, nobody can defend this, this problem. There is division in this country. One, division as political parties. They look at one another as enemies. And this you have to be witnesses as viewers, because in 2016 we had a problem. Zambia was almost getting on fire. Why? Because political parties could not unite. And it is for this reason we said we need to unite this country. That's the reason why UPPZ was formed, to make sure that Zambia is united. United, prosperous and peaceful Zambia. Our ideology is one, to unite Zambia economically, to unite Zambia in development, in as much as people, the Patriotic Front and many others that have been in government who claim to be bringing development, you see that this development is selective. It is only done in the urban areas in most cases. And we have said, as united, prosperous and peaceful Zambia, we want to take development in all parts of the country to the people that are in the rural areas. They are human as we are. They are important as we are. The reason why these are neglected, it should be answered by the people that have ruled us before, including the Patriotic Front. Zambia has been divided politically.
Do you believe
the cadres today has brought this country to a shame after 50+ years of independence, where we can understand the political scenario. Today we cannot understand.
All right, let me hold you there. Do you believe political parties are really speaking to the people in the outskirts with their campaign messages?
As for UPPZ, we are. Because we are telling them, the problems that they are seeing themselves, the things that Zambia is passing through today. Like in terms of division, this is real. Look at the violence. It is because people have seen affiliation to political parties. Others become enemies. And this is what UPPZ is fighting about. We want Zambia to be one. Not only to bring them together, to curb violence.
Quick wind up.
We are also talking about, development. Development in the rural areas. To bring back the things that Zambia stands for, which is for peace.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. We'll get back to you. We'll add some more time to your allocated later on. Mr. Isaiah Mambwe, I do know for a fact that you're coming from an independent organization, which should be independent, definitely, and that is ZANASU. In your own assessment, with all political parties, do you think their ideologies and campaign messages ahead of the elections are progressive?
Well, to start with, I can say this particular election is very tough one. It's a very tough one, in that we're at a period when the world at large is experiencing certain calamities that have never been experienced before. And to mention COVID-19 and climate change. And these are things that everyone is alive to. So I should say these elections particularly going to be a very, very tough and an unpredictable election. With regards to the ideologies of these political parties, I can say so far all the parties, from the students' perspective that are aspiring, a bit lacking behind in terms of speaking to the needs of the people. What we have seen that has come out so much is political violence and sorts of force to the people. But instead, someone once said, the challenges of our times requires local solutions. We are looking to solutions to the outside world, and most of the challenges we are facing as a country can be solved within and amongst ourselves. These are challenges to do with acts of corruption. These are challenges to do with greediness amongst certain leaders, and also the biggest players and perpetrators who are trying to block these or maybe make these ideologies not to speak to the challenges of the people are, of course, people that I can say desperate to get into power, because we need people that will speak to the challenges of our times and the challenges of the people. So the ideologies, we need to see more of objectiveness from the political parties. We need to see more of peace coming out from the political parties. And instead, all these things have been able to have been the reasons why the objectiveness in terms of the manifestos, the ideologies, have been hindered. Yeah. So we are saying, can these political parties come out objectively? Can we have peaceful campaigns? Can we have politicians that will speak the challenges of the people? So,
all right,
yes.
just there. What is your assessment with reference to the ideologies on how political leaders change from party to party? We can give good examples. Dr. Canisius Banda did move from the UPND to PF. Dr. Shimakambuli did move from PF, NDC to PF. Two of your panelists, actually, from different opposition political parties, are now supporting the ECL. What does it say about political leaders and ideologies?
Well, with regards to political affiliation or belongingness, it is enshrined in the Constitution of Zambia that every Zambian has got the right and the freedom to belong to a political party of choice. So it's a competition of ideas. If someone feels the PF has got better ideas, they are free to defect from whichever party. If someone feels the UPND have got better political ideologies...
What does it say about ideologies?
Pardon?
What does it say about political leaders and staying committed to their ideologies?
The Constitution?
My question was, yes, why do you think political leaders are failing to stay affiliated or committed to the ideologies that they stand for?
Well, like I said, everyone has got a freedom of choice to make. So there comes a time when you feel you don't buy into the ideologies of the party that you've belonged to for some time. And at that point, you feel the other party is doing better. So that is where you now, I've got the freedom to choose a party that you feel is preaching to what you feel should be able to answer to the challenges of the people.
All right, thank you so much. Let me get to you, Mr. Clement KANGWA, coming from FDD, National Youth Chairperson, supporting the candidature of ECL. With regards to political parties, do you believe the ideologies and campaign messages are progressive towards the people?
Thank you, Chisha. First and foremost, it's very important to remind the people of Zambia that actually Zambia is a democratic state that has actually allowed political parties to have a say in the governance of this country. Going by the Registrar of Societies, I want to believe we have about 40 plus political parties registered in this country. However, when you look at the political parties that we have in this country, you realize that other than the Socialist Party that are extreme socialists, and to some extent the United Party for National Development, the UPND, that are extreme capitalists, the majority of political parties seem to be in between. Coming to the Forum for Democracy and Development, the Forum for Democracy and Development is a social democratic party. It is a party that believes that no state should have completely no say in the running of affairs of a country, but we also believe that the state should be able to freely give the space to foreign investments to be able to freely participate in an economy. So as FDD, we are social democrats. That entails you that actually we are a party that is responsive to the needs of the poor, but also we are also a party that is aware of the fact, alive the fact that we need foreign direct investment to come into the country to be able to boost the economy of the country. So with regards to ideologies, I believe that the Patriotic Front, the party in government, is a party that has to some extent and actually has done so well with regards to being social democrats. It's a party that we've seen being very democratic. We saw recently during the convention, we saw the democratic process taking place fully, where President Edgar Chagwa Lungu was elected as president. But we also have seen values of socialism in them, where we've seen them actually being able to reach out to the masses, the community, to the poor out there. They've been able to reach out. So we believe that the Patriotic Front, in their current state, they are a combination of socialism and democracy, and I believe that this is the right way to go. So to some extent, the Patriotic Front and the FDD, they do intertwine in a number of factors, because in FDD, we believe that the state has a say with regards to the running of the affairs. We should be, as a state, be able to help our people to get to a position where they're able to run their affairs independently.
Do you believe political parties are reaching to the needs of the people?
I do believe that political parties are able reaching out to the needs of the people. For instance, the Forum for Democracy and Development is a political party that since 2001 has been running social programs. For instance, FDD is on record.
Quickly wind up.
The FDD is on record. We've been running social programs in fertilizer support program. We've been able to empower our women with seed. We've been able to empower our women with fertilizer. We've been able to empower women with chickens. These are programs that we've been running from 2001. All
right. Thank you so much, Mr. Clement Kangwa from FDD. We'll get back to you. And definitely we throw the ball to you, Mr. Lazarus SIMUKOKO. And please feel free to answer the question that we did give you earlier on as you're answering this question. Now, with the peace pledges and the peace accords being signed, but still experiencing hate speech, tribalism, remarks, and over 100 cadres have been arrested because of political violence. Where is the problem?
Okay, the problem that lies there is that the people, there are certain political parties, Mr. Chisha, who are saying at any expense we are supposed to be in power. Even if it means other people must die, even if it means other people must experience certain things in order for them to get into power, they are willing to do so. Look, the Patriot Front in 2011, they won through ideologies. The MMD was defeated by the Patriotic Front because the people of Zambia had to buy the ideas of the Patriotic Front. But today, as we are speaking, a political party that has existed for more than 20 years, Mr. Chisha, doesn't have even a proper manifesto. That is why last time we saw, even on social media, they had to download. Yes, no, I'm coming to you. Let me finish explaining. That is why a few days ago, they downloaded the manifesto for Jamaica. They had to put it on social media. After people had to react in a negative way, they had to put it down, meaning they are not consistent. Secondly, they don't stand for what they are believing in.
Should pictures really
they are moving with the mood of the people.
Mr. SIMUKOKO,
yes,
should pictures really matter in case of data? Why can't you look at the data than the pictures in the manifesto?
We look at the data then. Yes, the data we are talking about is supposed to be in the manifesto. Now they don't have the manifesto. Where do we get the data?
The manifesto is there for UPND.
I've never seen it. Maybe you have it, because the only thing that I'm able to see are those people, pictures that are only put there. Today they say this, tomorrow they change. In short, there is no consistency. Secondly, there is another issue which is very much categorical here as I proceed. That is the issue of the dollar. We have got two people who are claiming to say the dollar has managed to reduce here and there. That is, we have got the ruling party here and the opposition. The ruling party has got its resources on how it knows how it is spending its own resources. Second, we also have the opposition. Now, the dollar has managed to reduce, Mr. Tisha, because of three main factors.
Mr. SIMUKOKO, why is the problem? Why are we still experiencing hate speech, tribalism, and political violence?
Experiencing hate speech, tribalism, and the like. In PF there is no tribalism. The only thing, of course, I can even defend.
Are you sure there's no tribalism, Mr. Simko?
Give me a chance to answer, because you are bringing questions before
Quickly,
I answer.
Quickly.
Secondly, as I'm saying, we have got a leader by the name of Mr. Chimbakambwili. Mr. Chimbakambwili, the only thing he was saying, he said, look, in Eastern Province, they have changed through 3 political parties. They voted for UNIP. Secondly, they had to vote for MMD. And now they are voting for PF. And then he was saying there are other provinces of which, since the formation of the UPND, they have never voted for any other political party apart from that party. And at that moment, what he was exercising is only his own freedom of speech. Secondly, what he was trying to say, he was trying to promote inclusiveness, where other leaders also must be welcomed in that area, because as the President Edgar Lungu has also done.
Do you welcome the way Dr. Chimbakambwili speak about, the regionalism?
Regionalism.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain to you to say.
Be quick about it, Mr. Simko.
I've explained to you to say he is not a tribalist. That is one thing I'm going to tell you. And the other thing also, I've explained to you to say, if you are looking at a certain particular group and say, look, this is how we must be voting. Eastern Province has been changing from time to time, and it is supposed to be done.
What do you call a
Look,
person who
Mr.
speaks
Chisha,
about
look,
tribe?
Mr. Chisha.
Yeah.
Look, Mr. Chisha. What we are, any person who speaks about tribe, it's either that person is promoting that tribe or demeaning that tribe. Okay, those are the two words that I can.
And in the case of Dr. Chimbakambwili.
Secondly, let me proceed first.
We are quick. I give you 15 seconds, Mr. Simkoko.
Okay.
Time is really running.
Okay, I understand. So now we have got, of course, Mr. Kambwili there. The people of Southern, the people of other provinces as well, they are very much good people. But the problem is there is a leader who is more like inclinched, saying there is no any other person who must be able to go there, and that is the only thing that Dr.
What
Kambwili
proof do you
was
have?
saying.
Anyway, we'll get back to you. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
Let me throw it to you, Mr. KONDWELANI SAKALA, UPPZ Secretary General. Where is the problem?
Of violence?
Hate speech, violence, tribalism, you name it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chisha. Tribalism, violence, and all sort of confusions that has been seen in this country, it's as a result of not having ideas on what we want to do or what we will do as a political party. One, I'll just talk about what has just happened whilst I'm here. My brother here, my comrade from the Patriotic Front, you have asked very clear question about where the problem is. But it is very disappointing and unfortunate to bring in somebody or a political party which cannot defend itself in this question. Those are the causes of violence and confusion in the political arena. If political players or political parties have ideas on certain issues, all you need to do is tell the people what the problem is, or who is the problem, or how you will solve the problem. In this case, I found out that Tom and Jerry are a problem in the violence of this country. What do I mean by Tom and Jerry? I call PF and UPND to be the problem in this nation. In as much as all the peace accord has been signed, that is not enough, because people hold grudges against one another for those reasons I can't tell, because I don't know. I've found myself to places where they just meet and start fighting for no reason, because they lack ideas. These are political parties which should have graduated from this petty politics of carrying pangas, drawing us backwards to be fighting for freedom, of which our forefathers fought for. It's very unfortunate and very unfair for these two political parties to trouble the nation as ours, this country that is, the people that our forefathers fought for. So the only problem we have, if you have a toothache, I asked one doctor, I was told, if you have a problem of a toothache, the only solution you have is to remove it. So the only solution we have as the Zambian people is to put these two political parties to sit down. Because I've seen it, even the Zambian people can bear witness to this fact, that the problem we have is they lack ideas as these two major political parties. I will not beat about the bush, because they have brought the violence. Check the history. You will see they are only fighting.
Thank you so much.
For no reason.
Thank you so much. Mr. Isaiah Mambwe, where is the problem?
Well, first of all, it is very imperative to note that violence is never the solution. And also, hate speech promotes violence. So, some of the causes of these things could be lack of ideas and direction, could be foreign intervention, and also individual aspirations and gains, as opposed to, what you are really there for as a leader. So, what we've seen in these particular campaigns is something that does not portray or define what a Christian nation is. I think we saw at many instances our founding father, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda the late, did promote one Zambia, one nation through a Bible verse where he says, love your God, love your neighbor, and love yourself. But what we are seeing from most of the people who are aspiring into leadership today is that they'll die at nothing to ensure that they get to power. We have seen a lot of people being killed. We've seen a lot of properties being damaged. We have seen a lot of infringements on right of people in terms of expression. Sometimes if they even discover that you are supporting particular party, party A or party B, you won't be able to benefit certain things in society. So the problem really is that people do not have the heart of the people. That should be the major problem. And we have a lot of processes that have undertaken so far. The ACZ calls people to come and reconcile through engagements. We've seen the church come on board. We've seen so many people come on board. But this must go down to the leaders, the presidents of the party, the central committees, whatever highest bodies of these political parties are called. They should be able to understand that those positions are given to them by the people of Zambia, and their interest should be to represent the people. If the people do not want you, it's not your time, wait. If the people want you, you are going to win with a landslide. So we must be able to see leaders who've got ideas. Like I said, the world is in dire need of men and women of ideas. Well, it's not a game of Ama Coffee, no. Sometimes you don't need to use Ama Coffee to find solutions, just your brain and your mind. So the problem really is that we've got people who do not have the heart of the people.
Who are those people?
These are the politicians who are aspiring for these positions.
Politically name them.
I cannot point out a particular party, because we've seen this party does this, the other side, this party does this, the other side. But of course, there are certain instances.
Who's got the power to do with all this? People are, finger pointing. The president, the Republic president has all the powers to do so. No, it's HH who's supposed to do this. Who is then the one who is supposed to care about all this that is happening?
You see, I will not feel ashamed to actually recommend President Edgar Chagalungu on his stance with regards to peace. I think we have seen him at a lot of instances where he has condemned the violence. And you see, when the president comes out and says, when you perpetrate violence, you're on your own, even the cadres down to the branches and words will be able to stop. But we haven't seen that from other political parties.
Thank you so much. Mr. Clement Kangwa, the FDD National Youth Chairperson, where is the problem?
Thank you very much, Comrade Chisha. To start with, the issue of violence is an issue that trickles down to the issue of leadership. A number of occasions we've seen and heard Edith Zwelani condemn violence in its strongest terms. And one of the reasons why the FDD as a political party decided to fully support the candidature of Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu is his stance on so many issues. And one of them is the issue of violence. We've seen Edgar Chagwalungu on a number of different platforms condemn violence in strongest terms on different occasions. We've seen him attend church conferences. We've seen him attend a lot of meetings with regards to the issue of peace. So we take his stance on issues of peace and political violence very seriously. coming to the issue of hate speech and tribalism, you realize and remember that actually the MMD is a party that was founded and headed by the first president, Frederick Jacob Titus Chiluba. Thereafter, it was taken over by Mwanawasa, a man from the central province. We saw after that the presidency heading to the eastern province of under Arabi Rupia Banda, and thereafter it went back to the Bembas in Nevas Mumba. We've seen that since the formation of FDD, we had Christon Tembo as the founding president from the eastern province. Thereafter, we saw the presidents heading to the northern under the able leadership of Edith Nawakwi. We've seen the Patriotic Front that was founded by Michael Chilufya Sata. Thereafter, it was taken to Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Clearly, this tells you that these are political parties that do not condone the issues of tribalism. We remember in 2006 when we lost the great son of this soil, Dr. Anderson Mazoka. We heard sentiments that only a Tonga will replace Anderson Mazoka. And that's where the issue of tribalism culminated from. And that is the issue that we must deal with. The question the people of Zambia are asking is that why is this political party headed by the same tribe? It was headed by Anderson Mazoka, and even the successor is a man hailing from the same province. Does it mean...
Is that really a problem?
Does that mean in UPND there are not any other people that can head the party? These are the questions that the Zambian people are asking. We've seen presidents change hands in all these other political parties. Why is it an issue? Why can't the presidents change? In UPND, does it mean the monopoly of wisdom is held by one province? Definitely the answer is no. These are some of the issues that the Zambian people are asking, and that these are the issues that we must begin to deal with honestly.
Do you have space for tribalism in Patriotic Front?
For us, as the Forum for Democracy and Development, we've just given you a clear-cut example. We started with General Christon Taylor.
You are supporting Patriotic Front. Do you believe?
We are supporting the candidature of Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu.
Who is representing Patriotic Front?
Who is representing Patriotic Front on the premise that we've seen that if you look at the top leadership of the Patriotic Front, it will tell you that this is a party that is all-inclusive. The first vice president to ascend to the vice presidents of this country under the PF was Dr. Guy Scott. The second vice president under the Patriotic Front is Madam, Honor the Vice President, Madam Inonge Winner.
As FDD, what have you done to reduce hate speech, tribalism, and political violence?
As FDD, we're doing so much to reduce hate speech and tribalism. One of the issues that we're telling the people of this country is that first and foremost, we are one Zambia, one nation. And I'll tell you, Chisha, if you go back to 2006 elections, you realize that FDD did come together with two other big political parties in this country. We formed an alliance called United Democratic Alliance with UPND and UNIP. So it tells you that we have a history with these political parties, and we have a local standard to talk about these issues. These are issues that we can tell you about. We'll tell you that in 2006,
all right, your time is up, and I'm not satisfied with your answers, Mr. Clement Kangwa, but we'll get back to you. Let me throw it back to you again so we can twist things up. Rallies have been banned, but political parties and players are still gathering the public amidst the pandemic, with still, Zambia police emphasizing that you shouldn't. Why are you trying to cause anarchy?
We are not trying to cause anarchy at all. We are not trying to cause anarchy at all. There is nowhere, anywhere in this country that the Forum for Democracy and Development is trying to cause anarchy. The partial banning of gatherings in Lusaka and other places, you realize that it did directly affect the Patriotic Front, who we are supporting in this election, and our colleagues from the opposition, the United Party for National Development. That ban was not extended to the FDD and other political parties. So we are very much at liberty to engage the communities. So we are not trying at all to cause anarchy at all. If anything, ours has been a message of COVID guidelines and restrictions. We've gone out flat out informing the people and sensitizing the people.
Mr. Clement Kangwa, you do not know for a fact that the candidate that you are endorsing is bringing together massive gatherings and in the name of giving masks and sanitizers together with other political players under the party that you're supporting. This is why I'm asking you, why are you supporting anarchy?
We are not supporting anarchy, Comrade Chisha. Actually, the truth of the matter is that the Republican Constitution in this country has been framed in such a way that there's no vacuum at all at any time in this country. So while we have elections, we still have a Republican president in this country who has an obligation and a duty to execute national duties. President Edgar Chagwa Lungu remains head of state until any other candidate takes over from him.
Well, we do, and I do understand that aspect, but there are 2 points here that I've questioned you. Yesterday, Dr. Chimba Kambwili was in Dola, all right, giving out masks and, different COVID-19, preventive, things, and those a massive crowd without social distancing, without masks, under the political party that you are supporting, as well as the president is still moving around, all right, commissioning projects with massive gatherings. Why are you supporting anarchy, Mr. Clement Kangwa?
The president of the Republic of Zambia has a constitutional mandate to fulfill.
Answer for both situations.
His constitutional mandate is to ensure that execute his executive functions as head of state of this country. President Edgar Chagwa Lungu remains president until any other different person takes over from him.
Dr. Chimbagambuli?
So the distribution of face masks, we are actually also distributing face masks. We realize that most of our people in these communities actually don't even have the capacity to buy some of these COVID
don't you think there's a better way to do it?
We are of the opinion that actually our people need these face masks and hand sanitizers. This is why the FDD under Edith Nawakwi, we've been to churches, we've been to mosques, we've been distributing face masks, we've been distributing hand sanitizers.
Quickly wind up.
Also on top of that, we've realized that the COVID has ravaged most of these homes. So what we've done, we've taken a step further also to help with relief, meal and
do you support what Dr. Chimbakambuli is doing? And the Patriotic Front as well.
We support the candidature of Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu on the basis that we are of the opinion that of all the 16 presidential candidates that are standing in this election, he is the only man that represents the ideals that we believe in as the forum.
I take it that you are supporting what Patriotic Front is doing. Thank you so much, Mr. Clement Kangwa. Let's throw it to you, Mr. Isaiah Mamboy. Why do you think the different political leaders and players are trying to cause and support anarchy?
Well, anarchy is a very big word to say.
Well, we've seen that Zambia police has banned rallies, and yes, they're still not following order and laws by a very relevant authority. That's causing anarchy.
Okay, yes, anarchy is there. I did not agree. I did not say I did not agree with that word, but it's a big word. So, with regards to the conduct of the political parties, we've got the Electoral Code of Conduct, okay? That provides for how these political parties are supposed to conduct themselves before the elections and also during the elections. And we also have other regulating bodies, of course, key stakeholders like the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Home Affairs, through the police, in terms of peacekeeping and so on. But with regards to the rallies, because the anarchy quite is being perpetrated in so many factors, I think it comes back down to us, the people. We must understand that COVID is real. And those crowds that we are being found into to just go and support the same people that we're supposed to be listening to through these media platforms and many other platforms are a very, very serious media through which we can get to contact the COVID-19. The politics itself, it's a game of perception, I can say. So people may hide in the act of giving face masks, but then when the mob comes there, the perception goes. And people will think this one is loved by the people. I think we saw Mr. Echilema was in Solwezi. We saw Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu in Munali Mandevu. We saw Mr. Chimbakambwili somewhere else. It's a game of perception. And we cannot run away from it. Others will hide in door to door, but you see the mobs they are moving with. Others will hide in giving out the face masks, but you see the people that will turn out. Others will even have rallies for distribution of face masks. So it's a game of perception. So I'm saying it comes back to us, the people. We must understand that COVID-19 is real. These people who are aspiring for positions, quite okay, they mean well, but they'll die at nothing to ensure that they reach out to the people. They cannot manage to reach out to the 20-something million Zambians. So if there's an opportunity and a platform that they will use to speak to the people in a bigger number like 100, they will utilize it. So we, the Zambian people, must ensure that
realizing that there is COVID, Mr. Mambwe.
Pardon?
Realizing that there is COVID was during the pandemic.
Yes.
And the hundreds that you're talking about is prone to infections.
Yes, it is.
And you support that?
I'm not supporting it.
Well, you're saying, yeah.
I'm saying it comes back to us as the people, as an individual.
You said if there is a chance to talk to people who are, you know, in a gathering, in a public gathering as
if you got me clearly, I'm saying politics is a game of perception. So the people who are aspiring for these political positions will utilize an opportunity where people are gathered in larger numbers because they want to send a certain perception. But we as individuals must be able to stay away from those crowds.
What has made the weak implementation by these political leaders from the orders of Zambia police?
Well, I think also it goes back also to the police. I think the police should also be very professional.
Do you believe they're weak?
I can't say the police is weak. We do have, of course, political interference and also have other factors playing around.
From which political party is there political interference?
From all the political parties. All are politicians, and if I say political, I'm putting all the political parties that are participating in that umbrella. All
right, thank you so much. Mr. KONDWELANI Sakala, why do you believe there is anarchy with regards to you political parties not following the orders of Zambia police?
Number one, it gets back to leadership. Leaders must be responsible of these people that we want to govern. The people today, they might be there, but to the fact that the reality of COVID-19, it is real and it doesn't choose who to go to, that should send a signal to every responsible leader, regardless of your position. Whether you are the Republican president, you have a mandate, you are looking at the people you want to govern today and after this period of an election or campaigns. So the issue here is leadership. In as much as a lot of things have been
leadership
brought
from where?
From us as leaders from different political parties. If we believe that truly COVID is real, and what we have preached of, you know, social distancing, we can't be seeing what is happening today, where people can be gathered, bundled together at the expense of their lives because you want to pass across any information to them. Because Minister of Health has advised all political parties, because we have had a lot of meetings, to advise us, you know, to avoid all these rallies. Yes, it might be in the code of conduct, or it might be our, you know, part of what we are supposed to do in this period as holding rallies. But due to the pandemic we have at the moment, please avoid these rallies. Us as leaders, we should have done that at all costs if we love this country. But what we have seen even today, yesterday, by these political giants, it's uncalled for. Because this we are seeing today, we may not see the nation healthy tomorrow because we want to win an election. So the anarchy comes in because we have no regard to the laws of this country. We don't look at the police as people who can enforce the law on certain individuals. As a result, we can walk over them, disregard their instructions. Why? Because we feel we are greater in our political affiliations, which shouldn't be the case in this country as ours, Zambia.
All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Lazarus SIMUKOKO, you have 3 minutes to answer the question.
Okay, first and foremost, the Patriotic Front has not been holding any rallies. Secondly, the Patriotic Front has not been holding any road shows because we respect what the Electoral Commission of Zambia is telling us. Regarding the issue of face mask distributions, that is not only being done in Zambia. We have seen in countries like
Mr.
Singapore.
What
give
is a
me
rally?
time, you're going to come through.
What is a rally?
A rally is where you gather people, you stand somewhere where there is maybe a vehicle, you stand there and then you start talking to them. What the Patriotic Front has been doing is this, okay? We know that Zambians currently, they want face masks. Zambians currently, those people are in businesses, those people are in markets. Look, the councils we are going there, which is also part of the local government there.
Yeah.
And saying you need to be having buckets on your doors as you are going into the shops. You need to have hand sanitizer so that as people are accessing those goods in those shops, they are supposed to be having hand sanitizers and face masks. So now, it was quite a challenge for that Zambian who is on the ground there to buy a face mask as well as to buy the commodities in that shop. What the Patriotic Front government has been doing is, it has been making sure to say, we need to be helping out in certain things such as face masks and also hand sanitizers to these people.
Mr. Simukoko,
and many of you...
realizing that a rally is a mass gathering.
Yes.
And it involves talking to people.
Yes.
In talking about your manifestos, what you would do, and why you shouldn't vote for a different political party. That in context of Zambian politics.
Yes.
Don't you think what Dr. Chimbakambuli held yesterday was a rally?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, then
Look,
what is
Mr.
that,
Chisha.
Mr. Simukoko?
No, let me come through, Mr. Chisha. Give me time to explain because you are not going to understand this. When you are looking at how a country is at the moment, Zambia currently, we appreciate even the PF government because looking at the deaths which are related to COVID-19, Zambia has recorded lowest deaths compared to any other country in Africa. Secondly, Zambia also is among
You have less than a minute. Get straight to the point, Mr. Simukoko.
That was not a rally. What
was it?
It was the distribution of face masks. Mr. Chisha.
He spent 30 minutes, all right, 20 minutes in context, talking to the people.
Yes.
And the rest of the time, giving face masks. Don't you call that a rally, Mr.
The question we must ask, what message was he communicating to them about? Secondly,
he was talking about voting for the candidates.
It is okay to talk about that. First and foremost, look at this. We are looking at face mask distribution. Is distributing the face masks. On the other hand, also distributing the hand sanitizers.
What is a rally, Mr. Simukoko?
A rally is a public gathering, okay, where you begin exchanging political views.
Mr. Simukoko, what did Dr. Chimbakambuli do yesterday? I want you to speak to the many Zambians through the camera and tell them that that wasn't a rally.
Yes, that wasn't a rally. That wasn't a rally. He was distributing face masks. That is the answer I'm going to give you there. Mr. Chisha, look, distribution of face masks, as it started, Zambia is not the first country to be doing it. Even in Singapore, they've been doing it. In Rwanda, they've been doing it.
Because of time, I'll catch you there. And this is why I want you as a panelist to answer your questions within the 3 minutes. 3 minutes is quite a lot.
Yes.
And I want us to exhaust it within the 3 minutes. But if you drive away from the question, I'll keep on repeating until you give me the answers that I need. Yes. We're going to now invite calls on 0764250055, 0764250055. You, the viewers at home, can call in and ask any question to the panelists that we do have right here in the studio. Call us and, of course, ask them the questions that are pertaining to the topic for this particular evening. My name is Chisha Chola. I am your host for the Blunt Talk, which is the Fearless Debate. We do have a caller. Let's pick up this call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Is that Muvi TV?
Yes, it is. You're through to Blunt Talk, the Fearless Debate.
Yes, please. Can I... Good evening, Mr. Chief.
Yes, please be quick. Within 30 seconds, ask your question.
Yes, please. My concern is about the moderator. I feel you are not very firm with your questioning. On a moderator, you are giving Mr. Simukoko little time to answer. Whatever you are asking him, you are interjecting him and you are controlling his time. And
well, he's not answering my questions, sir.
No, when you ask a question, give time for him to explain. All these panelists have got good points, valid points, but for Mr. Simukoko, you are not giving him enough time.
Do you have a question, sir? Do you have a question, sir?
I'm watching you live. Yeah, I'm following you very well, but you're not giving time. Like for the other brown guy, he is articulating issues very well together with the one who is in the FPD.
All right, thank you so much.
I'm calling you from Dola. My name is Muvi.
All right, thank you so much.
So,
All right, great. Call us on 0764-250055, 0764-250055. Please, when you come in, let us know your question within 30 seconds. We are running out of time, and we need to end the program. And like I mentioned, Mr. SIMUKOKO, answer your question quickly, because you only have 3 minutes. If you derive from your question, I'll take you back, and that is consuming your time. And viewers want to listen to your explanation, but if you take time, definitely we shall couch you, because we are running against time. All right, let's pick up our second caller. Good evening.
how are you?
Yes, fine, thank you. And how are you? You're through to Blunt Talk, the fearless debate.
Okay, this is Muksan from Matero.
All right, please give us your question in the next, within your 30 seconds.
Okay. What was it? Okay, if it was not a then it was a mass gathering, is it?
All right, so that question is going to Mr. SIMUKOKO, isn't it?
It is also prohibited. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. That question goes to you, Mr. SIMUKOKO. If it wasn't a rally, then was it a mass gathering? That is a question there. Let me pick up my last call for this evening. Then we get to our last series of questions for the panelists. And I'll be able to give you 2 minutes each after this call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm fine.
Mkwa, please, London, only 30 seconds. Okay. All right. Do you have a question, sir? All right. What was he doing at the rally? All right, panelists, I know we're running out of time, so those are the only calls that I could allow. So I'm going to give you 1 minute each, and I pray that you'll be able to answer within your 1 minute. The first comment was to me, and I know I've justified why Mr. SIMUKOKO, amongst everyone on the panelist, is not following the time. It's because of his own, tactic of delaying the questions. But quickly, let's get to that last question, which I'll give you 1 minute each to answer. Please answer it within your minute so that we can wind up with the program. 16 days are remaining. Is Zambia prepared for the 2021 August polls? Mr. SIMUKOKO, your 1 minute starts now.
Yes, Zambia is very much prepared, and they are prepared to vote for the Patriotic Front. They are going to vote for the Patriotic Front, Mr. Chisha, because the Patriotic Front has made sure that for the first time ever in the country of Zambia, we are able to separate the Siamese twins through different hospitals that have been built. Apart from that, Mr. Chisha, in this country for the first time ever, we are having more graduates because of the schools and universities that have been built. Apart from that, Mr. Chisha, as well, the country for the first time ever, previous governments never invested much into energy. That is why we are experiencing load shedding. But today, as I'm speaking, there is no load shedding, and all that is coming to an end. Apart from that also, for the first time ever in the country of Zambia, once again, Zambia has been facing quite a lot of challenges regarding COVID-19, regarding drought, regarding even all these things, the armyworms which affected the farmers. All that has made sure that the PF
Thank you, your time is up. Mr. KONDWELANI SAKALA, UPPZ Secretary General, 16 days remaining, but Zambia seems unprepared. Are we ready for the August polls? Your 1 minute starts now.
Zambia, as it stands now, needs to be prepared. It's not yet ready. One, the police needs to up their game, not being biased. They should protect each and every citizen. The Public Order Act should be applied fairly on each and everybody. All the players should be able to be given chance without interference, without biasness. then are we going to see the democracy we talk about? Are we going to see the fairness in this play of the game? As it is now, I'm calling upon the Zambia police to up their game, to be more professional than ever before in this 2021 election without being biased.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Isaiah Mambwe, ZANASU SG, is Zambia ready for the August polls?
Well, it's a 50-50 question. But if you say, is Zambia ready for the August polls? The question is, who's Zambia? We the people. We've got the voters' cards, yes. But then, have we heard enough from the people who are aspiring for these offices? Is the electoral body ready in terms of ensuring that all the necessary things have been put in place? Well, I can say we're at 80%. Much needs to be done, especially in terms of violence, implementation of the Public Order Act, and as well as the Electoral Code of Conduct. So I would, from the students' perspective, I would still call upon all the political players to up their game in terms of sharing their manifestos to the people. I would still call upon ECZ to ensure that they check every corner that has not been checked. I would also call upon the police to ensure that they apply the Public Order Act fairly upon all the political players. And we, the Zambians, must also listen to objectiveness from the people who are aspiring for these positions.
Thank you so much. 16 days remaining. Zambia seems to be unprepared. Mr. Clement Kangwa from FDD, do you think we are ready for the August polls?
I actually hold the view that Zambia is very much ready for the 12th August polls. President Edgar Chagwa Lungu has provided leadership. We've seen that through the executive has released the required resources for the commission to conduct its exercise, starting with the registration of voters. Up to this point, with the printing of ballot papers underway in Dubai, it tells us that the country is ready for the polls. I want also to commend the police. Policing 16 different political parties participating in an election is not an easy feat, but Zambia police has been equal to the task. To this, I wish to commend them. I'm of the view, and as a party, we have the opinion that actually Zambia is very much ready for these elections. And our appeal to our membership countrywide is that people in this country should trust a tried and tested leadership of Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. They should give him that vote. He means well for this country, and he deserves every Zambian's vote.
Thank you so much. Gentlemen, thank you for coming to the Fearless Debate Blunt Talk.
Thank you very much.
My name is Chisha Chola. Thank you so much for watching on behalf of the production team. We are back next week at the same time at 20 hours as we continue to look at issues that relate to Zambia's well-being ahead of the elections. Thank you for watching.
This is Zambia, this the nation. Yeah. Give us, you give us. This is Zambia, the home of copper.